Okay, well, that's a good transition to us. Let's move along to MJF, the MJF stuff from the week. So, you did mention that last week that we saw him, or an attack that was supposedly MJF, four masked people and a man in an MJF mask beating up Jay White to end Dynamite last week. So let's go on to what we found out happened this week. I'll start for MJF stuff. I'll start with Collision. It's September 30th Collision with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. They're in a tag team match against the Best Friends, Low Blow, Trent. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know why this is slow motion. By the way,
the wiener punches.
Yeah, punched him in the wiener, which was really funny. And the referee's not looking at he's looking at Trent, who just got punched in the wiener. He's like, "Are you okay?" And then again, it's like he shows the hand right in the air. He's like, "Yep, another one." So right after this, they had brought all their bags with them. The Kingdom did. So they went straight. They're like, we got to go straight to be with Adam after this. So right after the match, they're like, we're going to be with Adam. Hold on one second. Let me take this off slow motion. I don't know why it's on slow motion. Give me a second.
They're going to be with Roddy, but yeah, I see your point.
Oh, with Roddy, excuse me. Yeah. So Taven and Bennett, they're going to go be with Roddy, and they tell Adam Cole to
meet them, yeah.
To meet them there. So this was the beginning of a storyline that ended on Dynamite that we'll see in a second. But we'll jump to Wrestle Dream, which is where MJF fought the Righteous by himself. And he did come out at the beginning, and he explained on the mic that that wasn't him, who was the Masked Man. So this was the first reference of it. He's like, he was pissed off himself. Somebody, I guess, broke into his bag, which I guess immediately is Adam Cole as a suspect that he's, hanging out with him in his locker room and everything. So somebody took his bag and took his mask and used it and framed him, I guess, is what he's claiming, and they beat up Jay White in the back. As far as this match, I thought personally it was an extremely well-worked match that the Righteous, they did as well as wrestling work as you could do to sell a 2-on-1 match and to make it difficult for MJF, but MJF eventually, this was the spot of the night, which was freaking hilarious. And the MJF again using his bad guy acumen, his cheating skills, if you would call it that. But this was so funny. I thought he didn't sell it long enough though, because I think he gets up and they eventually start wrestling like in a second. But he could have sold that longer. That his nuts were in pain. Still a good spot though, I thought. And then there was the big body slam spot that he promised he was gonna body slam Dutch, and he did. Crowd popped like crazy. Simple wrestling, that me and Vlad call it, that is better basically to us than the dives over the top rope. Got a kangaroo spot in, kangaroo kick, excuse me, and he beat him with the, what is that called, the heat seeker? I guess got the pinfall. Right. Got the pinfall off that. With the foot on the ropes, I forgot about that. The ref kind of saw it, but MJF denied it. He's like, nope, I didn't do that. Wasn't me. So that was that.
It wasn't me. Yeah, okay.
He did, keep the ROH tag team titles. So they have that still. So he got through the night. They're still waiting on Adam Cole to have surgery. But as of right now, there's still the Ring of Honor tag team titles. I thought it was okay for the Righteous. It was a rub, I guess. It was cool to be in there with the world champ. I know Vlad's not big on the Righteous, but I think they're cool. I like it. I like them. So, but as far as MJF goes, let's move on to Dynamite, and let's see what happened on Dynamite. So, the Kingdom asked Adam Cole to meet at Roddy's house, and this was where they hung out with him and Roddy. It was kind of like a him and MJF segment, except it was Roddy. So they showed that they could have fun together, They bought Adam Cole a little, wheelie thing that he could wheel around with while he has a broken leg. And, they just have loads of fun together. Kind of reminded them why they used to be friends. Which I know Vlad thinks this is just horrible, but so is this going to cause a rift between the friendship of MJF and Adam Cole? Let's move on. We'll see. I got the next MJF clip I got on here is at 40. Well, it's not that one. So it's Juice Robinson and the Bullet Club, the Gun Club, are out there in the ring, and they're talking crap about MJF because they're feuding with him. Jay White had a long promo battle with MJF last week, so now it's the rest of Bullet Club's turn, and they're out there trying to lure him out, and he does come out after they rip on him for couple minutes. I think 2 minutes he gave them, and MJF comes out by himself. No Adam Cole, but he's there to rip on them. He's going to roast them, which every time MJF comes out, Robert, and there's like a new guy that he's feuding with, it's kind of exciting because it's like, the roast is coming. So he's going to roast all these guys. He's got a bunch of fresh meat in the ring, Juice Robinson and the Guns, to roast. And he called Juice Robinson a talentless taint, right? And Juice was like, "What? A talentless taint? That's what he's talking about, my taint." But he claims to have a rock hard taint.
Yeah, I thought that was the highlight of this whole thing.
This part, which they cut away from him, like right there. They're like, "Get the camera off him."
Yeah, get the camera off of the degenerate.
Juice.
Juice was great. Juice actually was the reason this actually was watchable. But go ahead.
Yeah, because I didn't think talentless taint was. It was kind of one of his weaker.
I know. I was
insults.
like, what the heck? I thought he could have come up with something better than that, but okay.
Yeah, and he got a chant going for these guys, ass boys and talentless taint. Okay, so I don't know. MJF is baby facing it up here a little bit for me, a little too much for me at this point. If he's gonna be clever and insulting, okay, but this segment I thought went to the Guns, especially because they kind of got one over on him here. They lured him into the ring and all three of them ran away, which was like, I was like, what the heck? But it was a ruse for Jay White to come from behind and give him the switchblade. So, Jay White, nice move. So they got MJF from behind, and he took his belt. Took the belt. He's like, I'm leaving with this. I'm getting out of here. I'm taking this with me. I'm like, woo, this is something. But he got up to the ring to the on ramp, and he basically said, we don't believe you. You're MJF. We're just supposed to believe that because you said it wasn't me, that it wasn't you. Well, we don't believe you. You're MJF. Why the hell should we believe you? So, which kind of made sense, but they did take the belt off him, which is kind of an intense thing to do in the world of wrestling when you steal somebody's belt, right? So after this, they did leave with the belt, and they caught MJF in the back. Renee did in the trainer's room, and Max Caster was giving him a little bit of back rub. MJF does not want to be friends with Max Caster. I guess he's been.
What was this about? I don't even know what the hell this is.
Well, why should Adam Cole be MJF's only friend? He needs to make other friends too. And the Acclaimed are like over baby faces. Why can't he be friends with Max Caster? I mean, he was a little on edge here. Kind of made it sound like, oh, he's stalking me and all this, but he's just trying to be a buddy. Just said, came over, was like, wanted to give him some support. He says he's been over texting him and over, just
Max Caster has been over texting him.
He's been over posting on his Twitter, and he feels creeped out by it. That he left messages in his locker room, like slips of paper or something like that. So he's creeped out by him. He doesn't want to be friends with him like he wants to be friends with Adam Cole. But I think it could be useful for him to make more friends because he's kind of obsessed with Adam Cole in an unhealthy looking way. So I think that's going to
What
lead
is
to
the
some.
obsession in this company with friends? All friends. We're all friends. Everybody's got to be with friends, and you're not my friend, and I'm your friend, and we're not friends. And do you know why we're not friends? All this thing is just insane. Everything is about friends. Every other feud is about being somebody's friend. This is stupid. I'm sorry. As much as I like MJF, this whole thing is retarded. Okay, retarded, and not in a funny, clever way. In a really stupid third grade, dumb way that I don't is beneath him as a wrestler and as a talent, because he is a great wrestling talent, one of the best I've seen in a long time. This is way beneath him as an angle and everything in between. Hate it with a passion. Like,
Well, what about the stuff with Jay White and them getting him from behind? That was kind of really good, I thought.
It's all right, but as I said last week, I'm not as big on Jay White as you guys are. I think he's a good talent. He's good in the ring. He's a good worker, as proven by some of the matches that he's had with FTR and some of the other stuff that they've done. But I'm just not really big on him as you guys are. But I would prefer to continue his feud with Joe. I think it was dumb to just have Joe shake his hand and beat the end of that after everything that happened between them. I think they should continue it, and that would have been more interesting to me as an angle than whatever is happening here. That's just my opinion. But anyways, I'll let you guys continue.
How about you, Robert? You got any feelings about this whole thing as a whole? We got the Jay White thing going on, and we got him having friendship issues with Adam Cole and Max Caster.
So, I already told you guys on the last episode that I'm excited for the Jay White MJF feud. So that part I'm cool with, and the obsession with Adam Cole is a little weird, but the Max Caster thing. So I know that in real life they actually hang out a lot because there's actual YouTube videos of them hanging out. I've seen them. But when I'm watching this segment, I'm watching it with the perspective of someone that hasn't seen all that. I'm trying to view it from that angle because there's been no indication in previous episodes that they have that type of relationship, that they're friends, right? There's been no indication of that. So with just looking at it from that perspective, that whole Max Caster part felt very random. I was like, what? Even though I know I know they hang out in real life because I've seen YouTube videos, but trying to look at it from a perspective of someone who doesn't see all that and only watches the AEW television programming, that just came out of nowhere. So that just felt random.
Well, about the whole, I'll make a comment about the whole Vlad saying that it's too kiddie, or what is the deal with being obsession with being friends with people? But it is a kiddie show. It's wrestling. It's supposed to be for third graders. We're just like jumping into.
Then why the hell are we watching this?
I don't know, Vlad.
What?
A lot of people think it's strange that we're watching wrestling.
I'm still a third grader at heart.
Yeah, exactly, because we're still third graders at heart. But this is technically a children's show, and that's why this probably resonates really hard with a lot of kids. They're like, yo, man, because back in the days, it was really cool to make friends with somebody. When you made a new friend, you were like, yeah, I want to do everything with them. I want to hang out. We're gonna go to the movies. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. So, it is kind of childish, but I think I could roll with it because Vlad, come on, it was really easy for you to make friends. I mean, you're very sociable. You're a personable guy. You're nice, but for a lot of people, it's not as easy. Some people don't even have one friend. They would love to have one best friend, So.
But what does that have to do with wrestling? I'm confused. You've lost the train of thought. You've lost the plot, for me, at least.
Well, wrestling is just a reflection of real life. Wrestling is a reality show where a bunch of people hang out together, and they happen to wrestle also. But they're in the back. They communicate. They talk. They have relationships. Some of them actually get married. It's the whole dynamic of the whole locker room is a part of the show. to see who you align with, who you become, who you have a group with. You create stables.
I disagree with that premise. I disagree with that premise that it's supposed to be based on some real life thing. No, it's supposed to distract you from your real life. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to entertain you and be entertaining, not remind you of your real life, especially if your real life is not great, No, I disagree with that premise completely. If that's what wrestling is, then we failed. We have completely failed. We've lost the plot as a wrestling community and industry and whatnot.
Well, there was always friendships in wrestling, but they never really would. They wouldn't really
Not like this.
They wouldn't really obsess over it. It wasn't like, oh, you turned on me. We were friends for so long. You were at my, child's bris or whatever. They didn't use this or whatever. We hung out at backyard barbecues and stuff like that. But
sure.
I think back in the day when someone got turned on, it wasn't really like, oh. They wouldn't get all emotional, like, oh my God, we were such hard friends.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels. That's not an example.
Yeah, of course, they were good friends. That's part of the turn when when one guy turns on the other, it's crazy because the other one will probably get hurt because we used to be friends. That's part of it. But yeah, I mean, the rhetoric about it has turned all emotional in recent years, where we're gonna express ourselves like we're in therapy. And we're going to talk about it.
Well, that's why the critics call this all friends wrestling, because that's all this stuff is. It's all about friends and friendship, which I understand is important to I guess, to these people, but I don't think it makes for captivating angles in wrestling, in my opinion, again. Now, if somebody wants to disagree, like Kayhan is making an argument for it, great. I don't think it's that interesting, especially when it's all over the place and it's on every angle,